With the resurgence of travel in the U.S., more people are flying, and the TSA is having a hard time keeping up. The agency is now sounding the alarm about a potential staffing shortage. NewsNation correspondent Marky Martin is live for us in Dallas tonight. Marky.
Yeah, good evening, Marnie. We're here live at Dallas Love Field, and if you take a look behind me here, definitely steady traffic here. However, nothing I would call overcrowded here just yet this evening. The Washington Post obtaining a memo from the TSA that predicted and warned that there would be staffing shortages at more than 100 airports across the country this month alone. However, today, TSA telling NewsNation they're in good shape. However, those on the inside tell me they disagree.
Long lines, massive delays, and widespread cancellations, causing headaches for passengers across the country.
I heard it was going to be a really long line because it's one of the most busiest weeks that they've had in a long time.
And the warning from just about every airport right now to its customers, sounding like this.
You know, we'd have people showing up 15 minutes before their flight, which that can't happen. You need to be at least an hour and a half before your flight.
As Americans dust off their suitcases and make their post-pandemic return to travel.
First time flying since COVID.
TSA allegedly warning in an undisclosed memo of a predicted staffing shortage that would hit 131 of the country's largest airports. That, according to the Washington Post. And some hubs already feeling the pinch.
We've got a lot of overtime at this point in time. We've got staff members that normally don't do screening processes coming in to help out where they can help out.
But in a statement to NewsNation, the agency says this: the Transportation Security Administration is well positioned to meet rising traveler volumes, going on to say recruitment efforts take place annually and are nothing new.
Unfortunately, TSA makes it look like it's all rainbows and sunshine, but unfortunately it's not.
Becky Mancha is with the American Federation of Government Employees, the union that represents TSA workers, and has been an officer herself since 2011. She says she's not privy to the exact memo, but believes the situation to be far worse than TSA is conveying.
I believe there's more than 131 airports that are shorthanded. If it wasn't, then why are the union officials getting reports that every airport is mandating overtime?
The agency looking to hire 6,000 new officers to handle the summer surge. Just over 3,000 positions have been filled. On its website, TSA offering $1,000 recruitment incentives for those who join by the end of September.
Just as passenger volume is increasing, so too will wait times throughout your travel experience.
And you know, there have been some reports that say some of these DFW area airports aren't feeling the severity of that staffing shortage, but Becky tells me that is simply not true. She says every airport across the country is feeling the pressure right now. She says it's multifaceted, right? She says it's a mix of both the pandemic and that coupled with low pay and low morale at TSA. Marnie.
Marky, live for us in Dallas tonight. Thank you. Joining us now is Dr. Everett Kelly, the national president of the American Federation of Government Employees. It is the largest federal employee union representing thousands of TSA workers. Dr. Kelly, appreciate your time. This is really a two-headed monster. You've got safety and you've got efficiency. So I want to begin with safety. How will this shortage impact security and screenings when we go to the airport?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And of course, when you are understaffed, you know, you always have those risks, you know, of safety issues. And I think that is the major issue here, is that TSA workers are understaffed and therefore poses a health risk throughout all of America for the flying public.
So what is your biggest concern when it comes to screening for things that are not supposed to get through when we are understaffed?
Well, you know, I would have to say I really think that the TSA workers do an outstanding job screening. You know, and I don't know if I would say that anything would really get through. They do such an awesome job. I don't know. I mean, that's a question that I just can't answer, because I just don't think that they are the employees that would allow things to get through, you know, even though there was a staffing shortage.
I agree with you. They're working hard. They're doing their job to keep us safe, but you have to wonder if they are short-staffed, how they allocate their resources. All right, let's move on to the lines and keeping things moving. If you have fewer people who are helping navigate the crowds, that seems like that will result in longer lines. What do you say?
It definitely does result in longer lines, okay? And that's why we are encouraging, the agency to, hire more employees. I think that the major issue is during the pandemic, we went down from about 46,000 employees to about 41,000 employees, and that's what has created the problem that we're about to see in short order.
Dr. Kelly, I have to wonder, though, I mean, we all knew that travel at some point would pick up. We'd get on the other side of this pandemic. Why wasn't the TSA more prepared and ready to bring people back?
I think that under the, if I may be honest, under the previous administration, we were saying that, you need to make sure that we remain staffed, but they didn't listen to anything that, the unions were saying, and therefore we are where we are today.